Hi there, explorers. Welcome to Story Spark Studio. I am so glad to have you, kids and parents, joining us today. Okay, let's dive right into an exciting adventure about a mysterious, quiet feeling we all get sometimes. In today's explainer, we're actually taking a journey straight inside the mind to uncover a superpower you might not even know you have. And, well, it's a secret superpower that doesn't shoot lasers or make you fly, but it does something even more incredible. So I want you to pause and really think about this for a second. Have you ever felt a tiny, quiet voice inside you? Think about a time when you were about to do something, and suddenly you just knew it was wrong before you could even explain why. Your heart might have fluttered, or your tummy might have done a tiny flip. You didn't have a whole list of reasons yet, but your body was sending you a very clear message. Hold on to that memory, because it's exactly what our young hero is about to experience. Section 1. The Tricky Question, 14. Okay, let me set the scene for you. Imagine a classroom where the air is super heavy with suspense. It is completely quiet, except for the little scratching sounds of pencils. Everyone is bent over their desks, working incredibly hard. And right in the middle of it all is our hero, Ryan. Now, nobody is watching him specifically, but he is stuck in this heavy silence. He has sailed through the first 13 questions, but then, bam, he hits a wall. Number 14. This is the one that makes Ryan's mind go completely blank. See, question 14 is a really tricky one, asking about the causes of a particular historical conflict. It's the kind of question where there are multiple defensible answers. But right now, Ryan can't think of a single one. The clock is ticking. The pressure is on. He's totally frozen. Section 2. The Accidental Discovery. As Ryan is sitting there, just staring off into space, hoping the answer will magically appear out of thin air, he suddenly spots something. It happens the exact way you notice things you definitely weren't looking for, suddenly and completely. His eyes dart down to the desk right next to his. And there it is, the answer to question 14, written really small in pencil, right there in the margin of his neighbor's paper. Wow. This is the ultimate temptation. The exact answer he desperately needs is sitting right there, completely visible. He doesn't even have to lean over. He doesn't have to squint. It is perfectly placed just inside his line of sight. Literally, all he has to do is copy those few tiny pencil marks, and his problem is instantly solved. Section 3, a 45-second debate. Now, to anyone else watching in the classroom, Ryan is just sitting perfectly still. But inside his mind, an epic, invisible tug-of-war has just started. Tick-tock. In just 45 seconds, an entire trial takes place. At 0 seconds, he makes a discovery. By 15 seconds, the temptation is pulling at him so strongly. At 30 seconds, this great debate is fully raging in his head. And by 45 seconds, he is going to have to make a choice. It all happens so incredibly fast. Your brain really works at lightning speed when it's under pressure. During those intense seconds, there are two totally distinct sides arguing. On one side, we have the fast, loud excuses of his brain, the practical argument. His brain is going, hey, nobody will know. The answer is already visible anyway. And besides, one question isn't the difference between understanding the material and not understanding it. I mean, it makes a lot of logical sense. But on the other side is the argument against looking. And it's not a list of reasons. It's the quiet feeling. It is specific, quiet, and very inconveniently present. Ryan knows this feeling. He knows that if he ignores it, it doesn't get louder, it just changes quality. It turns into that heavy, yucky feeling you carry around all day, making you feel completely off without even knowing why. Section 4. The Feeling of Lightness. Let's see how this builds to Ryan's incredibly brave choice at the end of those 45 seconds, because how he handles that inconvenient, quiet feeling is going to change his whole entire day. Ryan takes a deep breath and completes 3 heroic steps. Step 1. He physically turns away from his neighbor's test and looks back at his own paper. Step 2. Knowing that question 14 has multiple defensible answers, he decides to just write what he actually thinks, even if he's not totally sure. And step 3. He accepts whatever his own score will be. He wrote down an answer that actually turned out to be partially correct, but most importantly, he chose not to cheat. So he didn't ace the test. But as the story goes, he walked out of the room with the particular lightness of someone whose score, whatever it was actually theirs. By choosing to listen to that quiet feeling, Ryan won something way better than a perfect score. He won a wonderful physical feeling of lightness. His achievements were completely, entirely his own true property. And guys, that is true ownership. Section 5. The Voice of Conscience.
So, what exactly is the secret identity of that quiet feeling that saved Ryan and gave him that wonderful lightness? Well, that superhero has a name, and it's called moral intuition. Now, that might sound like a really big grown up phrase, but it simply means the very first feeling that shows up, knowing right from wrong, before your brain starts making up all those loud excuses and rationalizations. It's the part of your conscience that speaks first. Think of it like your inner compass, telling you which way is true north before you even have time to think about it.
Here is your trusty checklist on how to spot your moral intuition out in the wild. First, it shows up in the first few seconds of a tricky situation. Second, remember that the feeling always comes first. Third, the loud excuses like nobody will know or it's just this once, those come later. And finally, while it's not totally infallible, that quiet hero voice is always worth listening to.
Let's really think about this powerful idea together. The conscience isn't a rulebook. It's a felt sense that speaks before the rationalizations arrive. See, doing the right thing isn't just about memorizing some boring list of rules. It is about trusting that early, felt sense inside your tummy and your heart. Your conscience is alive, it's feeling, and it is looking out for you, trying to keep you feeling light and happy. As our explainer adventure comes to a close today, I have a special mission for you and your family. I want you to think of a moment when you had that feeling, the one that knew something was wrong before you could explain why. Did you listen to it? What happened? Sit down together as a family today and talk about a time you heard your quiet voice. What did it feel like for you? What an absolutely amazing adventure we had today. If you loved learning about your secret superpower, please join our family right here at Story Spark Studio. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell so you never miss a new story, and share this adventure with all your friends so they can discover their quiet voice too. And parents and kids, drop a comment below telling me your absolute favorite part of Ryan's story. Keep shining bright, keep listening to that wonderful quiet voice, and I will see you on our next adventure.